MV3 Traders Futures Trade Radio is brought to you by The Ultimate Trader's Guide, your one-stop shop for the most valuable income-producing information on the internet. Go to ultimatetradersguide.net to learn more. Link in the description below. All right, what's going on? How we doing? Hope everybody had a good weekend. Sound is coming through good. All right, so let's get into this. I'm gonna do it like a little bit different than I did it Friday. I'm just gonna go through my normal process, how I usually do it, and then maybe I'll come back through and get some highlights of the pre-market awareness and all that stuff. So just flow through this real quick and get this pre-market awareness in. I already did my volume check, and you can see here, pretty light volume to start this week off. See, we got average with the ATR. Didn't really have much of a change. Nothing significant on the calendar today. It's actually a light week overall for economic events. that's pretty much it for the Nasdaq. Mostly ranging, but we did have a push into the bull. What did I say? Yeah, that's right. Had a push to the bull zone during the London session, and we're revisiting the bull zone after a quick dip back into the neutral zone, making our way back to the overall supply just above PR plus 2, right before PR plus 3. That 15,728 area. Seeing we are seeing a supply response at 15,724, roughly 15,724. Let's go look at the rest of the market. And all of this is happening inside of Friday's range, which basically closed flat. Giving us a nice little doji potential reversal. Shared sentiment with between the other indices, but they're not as volatile as NQ. MNQ Futures Radio down. Let me post this in Twitter. And speaking of posting, I want to go ahead and give a reminder of the giveaway sponsored by Edge Clear for 6 months of Sierra chart. That's going to be announced at the end of the month. But I'm going to put the details in the chat for anyone that hasn't signed up already, that's interested in signing up, or I want more details about it. And welcome John. Glad you're happy here. See if I can kind of pin this. I think it's being funny. Alright, let me see. OBS doesn't want to cooperate with me this morning. I'll 1 second. We got about a minute before the open, less than a minute. I still got something else I gotta do. Of course, there gotta be a technical difficulty. It's all good. We don't want to rush into anything. I don't want to rush into anything, so let me make sure I got everything together before I get ready to actually start taking trades. You don't need to rush. There's plenty of time to trade. And if I don't get anything today, the market will be open tomorrow. So if I have a technical issue, not a big deal. Alright, there we go. Alright, that message has been pinned. Alright, so we're good there. Let me go ahead and mark off my zones. It's gonna be a bit harder because we got this push of the session high right at the open. I'm gonna have to guesstimate where the overnight high was. NQ do have some significant volume drop off if we make it back down there at the PR low around that 675 area. Screenshot is gonna look funny. phone in silence. Only goes to be disciplined to the strategy. Attention to detail. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready now. A little technical difficulty, but we got through it. John, I got a whole bunch of videos with advice for new traders. So I would I think you can start with the trader trigger stuff. Just go, look at my videos, my trader trigger videos. And then like during the stream, I may get some things. I just let everything flow organically. So if I get anything comes to me, any frequencies come to me, then I'll, share whatever's on my mind. But just in general, for advice for new traders, I would just recommend starting with all the trader triggers videos. All right, so let me lock in. Let me focus. Where we at? Nice little supply push at the open. Still a bit volatile on this low volume. Set up some inventory at around 767. Got something discrepancy in one of my charts. I haven't really missed any trades yet, so it's all good. Brought inventory back below A1, that 758 area. A lot of participation around A1, around that 766 range. Getting a little bit of correction from the open, from that supply run at the open. I think it was some point last week. Was it Friday? Thursday? One of the days last week. It just took us forever to get like any significant pullback, any significant correction. Obviously not the case today. Lift the supply back to that 776 range. Potentially setting up shop here. From the wholesale perspective, got some budgeting going on in this area around the A1. A lot of participation in that 766 range. Continuing to drop the inventory. Now we got a strong inventory push. Really going for that cheaper inventory. Making our way back to the mean. To the short side, just for what I look at, I got the below the overnight high is what I'll be looking at for almost confirmation, so to speak. I don't really like using that word that much, but confirmation for maybe. I mean, we do have some momentum short, but my marker is below the overnight low, which we just broke the overnight high. I mean, just broke the overnight high. We're back inside that overnight range. And we made it there pretty quickly. We made it there quicker than we made it to the high of the day. continue with that momentum, or what do we do with this area here? I got some automation to go at 720, and then we got our overnight high, 730 roughly. So take supply back for that overnight high. Put an inventory push below the overnight high. Quick little supply lift. So right now we're kind of set up inventory off of PR +2 on that 718 area. Opened up the shop, expanded the shop, lifted that supply above the overnight high around 730s. Just getting a quick glance at the prices, not really trying to be too specific with it. And we're just hovering the overnight high. Of course, we got a lot that we can do with this emotionally. Kind of playing both sides. But the momentum is still on to the short side. It doesn't mean that we're going to see lower prices, or that, you know, the market's going to be taken in either direction. But until things change, until the print shows otherwise, we've been more volatile short in the last couple of minutes. And I have a real like a really zoomed in view but it definitely helps to zoom out and see the bigger picture, especially when things start to, get really quote unquote choppy and price starts bouncing around. And they do what I call, I call this price action budgeting, right? No orders left behind, where prices just jumping around up and down, and it seems like it's just all over the place. But there's a rhythm to it. Especially in these low participation environments, which we've seen kind of repeat themselves over the last few weeks. The way that wholesale kind of has been taking care of these areas. It's just been grabbing whatever orders that come in these areas. That's just how I'm reading a price action. I don't have any insight information or anything like that. Then doing what I call no orders left behind, grabbing all the orders that they can before we move to another area. And if I look over at the book map, I can see a reason for a lot of traders to be short biased. With them being shown quote unquote liquidity at lower prices. Create some stops. We ran those stops and now we're back to our overnight high. And I'm just being patient with all this. Not trying to force anything. And mainly I'm really being patient on the trigger because I just want to make sure that I'm locked in with all of the technical issues that I had. I took those first two positions, really light. It's with one micro. Not getting too crazy with it. So now we just brought inventory back up to some quick inventory at A1 in that 722 area. Still hovering the overnight high. Got about a little over 5 minutes before B period. And let me, since I mentioned it earlier, and to share this Trader Triggers podcast with the playlist inside of the chat, just to make it easier, since I did mention that earlier. God, I can't pin it, but it's there. Got stuff in the way. Like YouTube needs to clean up their platform a little bit. They put that little heart button or a little emoji button right there where I need to click. Anyway. Alright, so we're still just taking care of business around the overnight high. And I wouldn't be surprised if we actually just stay inside of this overnight range for a while. Maybe even see lower prices. Again, none of this is trading advice. This is just my opinion. Right now, we're still maintaining that inventory off of mechanically off of PR plus 2. I have a main indicator, which I refer to as MSRP. This kind of is an overall trend around 729. Where so far we've been, if I look at the chart on the left that you can see, we've been sort of mechanical to that over the last few minutes. Minutes before B period. I think it would be reasonable to suspect some volatility, a volatility spike at B period. So I'm definitely, I have a rule to my B force break to just be off of, have my hand off the trigger as we rotate or we transition into B period. But just by the way this is trading, definitely want to make sure I stay disciplined to that. I want to make sure I stay disciplined, period. But these moments like this are good reminders for stuff like that. We just set up shop down here. We're kind of taking advantage of everything that we can down here from a wholesale perspective, and there's some volatility coming in. As we lift the supply. Got it. See if there's a front run. Somewhat of volatility response with that transition. Nothing to really get too crazy about. So it's pretty light. Very quick. That's going to keep us pushing the supply. Big picture supply is up at 780 at the session high. As we push this supply here, let's see how far we go back towards the high. Mechanical response off of PR plus 4. There's a good chance that I'm actually done trading for the day. I may have missed a couple trades, but I just, this is thought that just popped into my head about focus, and what I've learned since I've been trading over the years is unless I'm completely focused and locked into how I'm supposed to be executing, it's good for me to be more so, not be too aggressive with my actions, and to make sure that I'm focused as I can be before I start placing trades and stuff. Of course, I've come to that conclusion after a lot of trial and error of trying to take trades where I was maybe focused on something else. Maybe I'm focused on the stream, or I had a mechanical issue, a technical issue, or something else may have taken my attention away from how I'm supposed to be participating based off of my strategy. And 9 times out of 10, it's probably a real statistic. Most of those trades ended up being mistakes, or just not the best trades, and a lot of them ended up being losses. So eventually I got the memo to just be patient with it. If I'm not completely focused, make sure that I keep my awareness to my focus at all times. So that's my primary the primary thing that I make sure that I'm that's at the top of my, I want to use the word, that's the main thing that I want to keep awareness to, is that my focus. How focused am I at all times, regardless of what the chart is doing? I don't care if I'm getting the best setups in the world. If I'm not as focused as I need to be, I need to make sure I'm focused first before I start doing anything with trading, or anything with my analysis for looking for trades to take. So if that's not 100% locked in, then I won't pull the trigger. I make sure I'm locked in before I'm actually participating. Now it's not foolproof, because sometimes, when I'm not locked in, I'll take a trade and it feels like a good trade in the moment, but then I'll go back and review, and I'll see that, well, no, it really wasn't. I didn't get all of the things to line up like I was supposed to, and wait for my setup. I just kind of traded off of something else, right? And then sometimes this is on rare occasions, I felt like I was focused and locked in. Then I go back and review, and I see that I actually made a mistake. So it's, on that note, it's also good to do reviews, and you can kind of, over time, you can build your own personal profile for what to be aware of and what to pay attention to make sure that you're showing up with your A game before you actually get in the game and start placing triggers, or start placing orders and getting involved, and so you can keep the mistakes at a low. As I've been going through all of that, we've kind of set up shop Still taking supply off of that PR plus 4 area. Cleaned up some orders that I got. We took care of some orders up there. Now we're back, taking the inventory back to PR plus 3. Still kind of trading mechanically. And that's the overall. Usually, most of the price action is going to be mechanical or something. But the challenge now, these days has been more so, where are the mechanical levels? Not necessarily, like all of the other stuff that people may pay attention to. And, from my perspective, it's really been like we're finding the mechanical areas and then having that, seeing how that applies to your strategy. Or let me put it from my perspective, seeing how that applies to my strategy. Like, I don't change my strategy just because the market is doing something different today. If it's not giving me the setups that I need, and I just won't trade. But because there will be another day, right? Like I always say, the market will be open tomorrow or on the next scheduled day. And if it isn't, then none of this even matters anymore, because we're going to have bigger problems on our hands. So I might as well stay patient and just wait for my setup. Not get triggered by my emotions, FOMOing into trades and trying to revenge trade and all that stuff. All the keywords that everybody likes to use, right? We're still, as of right now, maintaining that PR plus 4 supply. Got some more participation that came in. Bringing the mechanics into that area. All right. Starting to push the supply. Push the supply. A lot of volatility is being shown at higher prices. Or volatile liquidity is being shown on the book map at 780. I kind of want to see what happens with that. Sure, that's going to trigger some people to go long, which is going to do what? It's going to create stops. So with that, just from that perspective, even though the board is showing this area of interest at a higher price, I wouldn't expect price to go directly there. One, because it just wouldn't make sense in terms of an auction market. This is where you gotta have both sides in order to move price, right? So just in order to have a functional market, it wouldn't make sense to just take price directly there with the participation. Now it's possible, and when that type of situation happens, then we gotta spend a lot of time chopping price around after that to rebalance things. But it's, a lot of times it's the less likely scenario. So the board to be showed something like this, like what we're seeing, and then instead of just taking price directly there, we'll play the emotions and inch price higher, create some stops, go fill those stops, inch price higher, create some stops, go fill those stops, and then we may run it in the opposite direction. Wholesale will take their time getting there. so that, you know, we can keep this market functional, and then they can take care of their business. At the end of the day, it's just business. The best thing you can do is not get emotional about it. Stick to your strategy. Make sure you manage your risk, you know, as retail. And at the end of the day, you want to survive until your best opportunities show up. So as we start to drop the inventory, I think this is a good time for me to go ahead and shut my shop for the day. And on that note, I appreciate everybody for coming through. Appreciate the participation in the chat, John. Hope you all have a good rest of the day, and make sure, and there's another reminder about the giveaway, the Sierra Charts giveaway, 6 months of Sierra Charts for free for anyone that's interested in entering to win that. That link is in the chat. I'll probably go ahead and put that in the description after I shut the stream off for the day. But until the next time, hope you have a good rest of your day, good rest of your week. Trade it easy.